Good morning, good morning. How we doing? How we doing out there in readers land or YouTube land? Anyways, there's a bit of a whirling noise that you may hear in the background. That's my ceiling fan. I'm pretty hot this morning. It's getting pretty warm, y'all. Summer is coming. Without further ado, let's put some music on. Let's go ahead and put on Bajillion track. Two tracks made by my oldest son, a Shaggy. And let's put this on, get it adjusted to correct. I think that may be loud enough. And let's get back to the story at hand. Bajillion, this is the green right here. Let's turn it up a little bit. Let's turn it up a little bit. That's good. All right. Without further ado, we're gonna kick it right off, right here in the green. Y'all, this has been one of those weeks so far where I've had to drive every single day for at least an hour and a half one way. Monday I drove about 2 hours one way. Tuesday, Wednesday, about an hour and a half, so 3 hours a day. And today I'll be driving again. Again, do forgive the whirling sound up above, I'm sorry. That's the ceiling fan, I'm a little warm. Anyways, let's get right into it. Some thought it was the medicine that had been causing her rapid mental decline. Okay. Let me go back up a little bit. Some thought it was the medicine that had caused her mental decline. Sometimes you don't need all those words. Some thought it was the medicine that had caused her mental decline. What once gave her enough vigor to perform now made her lethargic, too sleepy, and worn out to function during the day. One prescription had to be countered by another, and the new prescription had to be countered by some other experimental pill or shot. And I love this beat. I'll turn it down a little bit. Suge would oftentimes awaken at night to find his mother wandering aimlessly throughout the house. He and his daughter, Penny, were constantly going back and forth trying to keep up with the latest cure for what was thought to be severe depression. Though he was there at the party having a moderately good time, his thoughts were on his mom. Let me see. Alright. He and his daughter Penny were constantly going back and forth trying to keep up with the latest cure for what was thought to be severe depression. Okay, I was looking for this. Suge would oftentimes awaken at night to find his mother. See, even though mother is 4 lines up, and it's his mother. Come back right here. It's his mother again. I'll circle. This is redundancy. Writers do it all the time. I guess writers do it all the time. I do it. So that's why you gotta edit. You gotta reread. Because a lot of things you won't see the first time. Maybe the third, second, fifth time. Anyways, Suge would oftentimes awaken at night to find, and I had a similar dream to this last night. That's weird. I had a dream very similar to this. I thought it was real. And it was my own mom. Anyways, Suge would oftentimes awaken at night to find his mother wandering aimlessly throughout the house. He and his daughter Penny were constantly going back and forth trying to keep up with the latest cure for what was thought to be severe depression. Though he was there at the party having a moderate depression. Depression? Why would it be depression? Why is she depressed? We're gonna have to say Alzheimer's, which I don't even know much about Alzheimer's, but we'll make that purple right now because I'm asking myself, why is she depressed? Know what I mean? So we're gonna, yeah, let's make that purple and leave a note. Why would she's like 108. Why would she be, oh my God. Why would she be depressed? Though he was, I'll have to change it later, but I don't know a lot about Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or the other dilapidating mental diseases. There he was. I'm sorry. Though he was there at the party, y'all, if y'all had noticed, it's been 6 minutes and 20 seconds. I'm struggling. Yes. Didn't get a lot of sleep. And I told you I've been driving a lot. This week alone, I probably got already 2,000 miles on my vehicle. Like, seriously. Maybe more than that. Anyways. We're gonna make it. Though he was there at the party having a moderately good time, his thoughts were on his mother. Right. I pointed his mother out for a reason. With his thoughts were on the lady he most adored. I think, right? Yeah. I'm thinking, is it because he has a granddaughter and he has a daughter, but excuse me. So I guess his mom. Though he was there at the party having a moderately good time, his thoughts were on the lady he most adored. And now a troubled son. I love these beats, Shaq. If you're listening, send me some more, man. Though he was there at the party having a moderately good time, his thoughts were on the lady he most adored, and now a troubled son who'd come back in town for the worst of reasons. There was also his daughter-in-law, a woman who never saw her life turning out the way it did. Left with 2 children, she could not have predicted the spinning meteor of manipulation that came from a man adored. See what I'm saying? That's what writers do. A man she still loved. You see what I just did? I wrote adored twice because in my mind I'm etching in the stone again, so it's like I'm going over the words again. So sometimes the words they float up. You know, the right word floats up to a different section of my mind. I can't explain it, but writers gotta watch that. We do. I know because I heard another writer say that. I heard other writers say that. You know. And my handle is writedisway, and my Gmail is writedisway. You can find that my email in the description box, how to spell it and all that stuff. But ultimately, I want to get to a point where I'm teaching other writers how to write. I'm teaching potential writers how to write. You know, maybe this could be a foundation. Maybe this could be a starting point for somebody who's trying to write. Because I always ask, people always ask, how do you write a book? Well, if you just tune in, you'll find out. You'll find out because I'm going to go through the whole process. Publishing, I know that, and I don't even know how long that's going to be, man. But I'm going to go through the whole process. Publishing and everything. I won't go through, you know, this is going to be self-published more than likely. More than likely, it'll be self-published. I'll send out a few letters, or perhaps somebody might tune in and see me writing a book and say, "Hey, we're gonna offer you a deal." All right. There was also his daughter-in-law, a woman who never saw her life turning out the way it did. Left with 2 children, she could not have predicted the spinning meteor of manipulation that came from a man she still loved. What no one knew that night. I gotta write another note, y'all. I gotta write another note. What's his name? Frederick Sr. And I don't even know her name. I know it. It's in there somewhere. And his children's mother reunite, I guess you can say. So Frederick Sr. and his children's mother reunite. I think they might, just that little hint right there. She still loves him. He probably still loves her, right? All right. What no one knew that night is that things were about to take a turn for the very worst. No one but the spirit thing. The one now there at the picnic table, invisible to the naked eye, but so present and patiently sitting by Jacob's side. Okay, so we're bringing it back to Jacob. "Are you sure?" asked Henry as he took a sip of his wife's lemonade. "Yeah, this is it." "Yeah, this is it. I know my stuff, Hank," Suge replied. "Hell, just look around," he added, licking his lips while motioning his mouth to get a better taste. Henry began scanning the room, surveying those at the celebration. Surveying those at the party. My goodness, man. "If life was any easier, I'd be a fat pig wallowing in mud." That may be a future character, y'all. As the taste grew more familiar, what he saw in those few seconds was enough to convince him that the drink in the punch bowl was for sure mixed with the concoction Suge had made for his son to take back to New Jersey. As the music and lights continued, he saw without a doubt evidence of Suge's claim. While one of the world's most worldly songs played, Mr. and Mrs. Albertson were dancing along, on beat, as though they were in their early 20s at their first Freaknik. Juveniles back that thing up. We're in their 20s. Let's say 20s. I don't say early 20s. We're in their 20s at their first Freaknik. So Freaknik is an actual word, y'all. If it wasn't a word, it would be a red line underneath it. Wow. I remember when I was in high school, man, there was this talk about Freaknik, but I missed Freaknik by like a year, maybe, or 2. I think the last Freaknik was 94 or 95 or something like that, maybe 96, but I missed it by a year. I got out of high school, well, I got my GED in 95 from Job Corps, and I went in the Army in 96. And from the Army, I went to Germany. From basic training and AIT, I went to Germany and that was it as far as, so I miss Freaknik. I'm not mad about that though. Wow. I love writing, man. Speaking of GD and Job Corps, I watched Damon Wayans on Shannon Sharp yesterday, Club Shay Shay. That was one of the best interviews I've seen, from Club Shay Shay. One of the best. That guy, Damon Wayans, he's a real dude, man. He was a troubled teen. He got in a lot of trouble. He had to drop out of high school. Either he got kicked out or something like that. And he said he went to Kentucky. That's Earl C. Clement, I think, Job Corps, and got his GED, and he got a trade in accounting. And I was going somewhere with this. He said he has like cabinets and closets full of writings, scripts, TV shows, movie scripts. He writes, and he said he has to write because if he didn't, he would probably go crazy. And when he said that, I know this is kind of sounds so repetitive now. I keep saying it, but the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. I'm like, man, he went to Job Corps, he got a GED, and he says he has to write. Oh, wow. That sounds like me. I didn't get in a lot of trouble when I was a teen. I did things, but I didn't get in trouble for them. But I was a troubled teen as well. I was considered a good kid, but that's only because I was just good at getting away with stuff. You really had to watch me because my mind never stopped churning. It was always going, always going. And I guess I had angels around me because, yeah. Till this day, my mom really didn't think I was just the best kid ever, but only if she knew. I was not. I'm not proud of that, but anyways, let's get back to the story. As the music and lights continued, he saw without a doubt evidence of Suge's claim. While one of the world's most worldly songs played. Okay, let's go ahead and put that up here. Juveniles, back that thing up. Okay, while one of the world's most worldly, let's see what worldly, let's see if I got a synonym, sophisticated, mature, worldly, no, I'm sure that you guys know what worldly means. That's a Christian term, so that's why I use worldly, but it seems a little redundant saying the world's most worldly, but anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and use that. While one of the world's most worldly songs played, juveniles backed that thing up. Mr. and Mrs. Albertson were dancing along, on beat, as though they were in their 20s at their first Freaknik. It looked as though they'd heard and danced to the song hundreds of times in private. Having a husband pinned in a corner, having her husband pinned in a corner, Mrs. Albertson was following Juvie's instructions to the T. She was backing that thing, right? She was backing that thing up until a thing is a word? No. Backing that thing up until she couldn't back it up any further. Aside to those two having the time of their lives, Suge and Henry were having trouble concentrating on the conversation, trying to figure out how the substance was added to the bowl. Suddenly, Lupe walked over to the two men. "Hey, guys," he said with an uncanny smile. "Is this The man pointed to his cup. Yeah, we think so, Henry confirmed. Great idea, he said before pulling Maria on the dance floor together. The two danced. Their way next to the Albertsons and seemed to challenge the religious couple to a back that thing up contest. Before long, someone turned the music up louder and the party took off like an MX missile. Oh boy. The only thing, so all this is new. Everything I just read is new. And this chapter ends, which I'm not going to end it there. I'm going to add more to it. Maybe not right now. But this chapter is not that long. So I got to, it is a little bit longer now. Wait a minute. So that's 6, chapter 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages now. Frederick, whispered Jacob, being there by his side. You get the feeling the boy is up to... Excuse me. Frederick, whispered Jacob. You get the feeling the boy is up to no good. All right, I got a lot of fixing to do, y'all. Yeah, I got a lot of fixing to do. But we'll get there. We'll get there together. It's been 22 minutes. We gotta add some more here. Let's see if we can add a little bit more right here, right now. I can't, y'all. Not right now. Too much on my plate. Y'all be blessed. This is Anthony L. Kelly. We'll pick it back up here tomorrow in the green. As you can see, the story is starting to progress a little bit more. Yeah. Maybe I'll take it to Miss Martha Louise, and because I want to bring her to the party in such a way. So Suge's wish is also going to be incorporated. I want to incorporate the outside, the full moon, or I want to incorporate lightning bugs at night. I said it was a crescent moon earlier, but now we're gonna say maybe it is a crescent moon. I think the crescent moon. I took a snapshot of the crescent moon with the palmetto tree. I think I did that. If that's the case, I'll leave it there. Or maybe the crescent moon will turn into a full moon. Whatever the case is, I'm gonna leave it right here, y'all. It's been almost 24 minutes. Y'all hit that like, subscribe, share, comment. This is Anthony L. Kelly. Thank you for stopping by. If you want a beat from my son, go to the description box. Till next time. If you want to show your love, man, you want to show some support, I got CashApp and all that stuff in the description box. Go ahead and send a brother $1 too for my hard work. Till next time, I'm out.